What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Ben Thomas Show. Thanks for coming back, guys. Today, my unboxing is the EXO-6 Star Trek Picard figure. Now, I know only a handful of you guys may watch this, but I know some of you out there are waiting on this figure, so you still haven't got it. And I'm hoping to keep that excitement going for you guys because I definitely have some thoughts on this figure and I thought I'd share them with you. So stick around. If you like the video, hit the like button, smash the subscribe if you're new to the Ben Thomas Show. Live long and prosper, of course. And let's get into it.
YouTube, the final frontier. These are the episodes of the Ben Thomas Show. My continuing mission to explore strange new Star Trek reviews, to seek out new Star Trek collectors and new badass collectibles, and to boldly go where no Trek collector has gone before.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. So, this is the EXO-6 Star Trek Essential version of course, the man, Sir Patrick Stewart, Jean Luc Picard. Now, I absolutely love The Next Generation Star Trek. That's probably my favorite series of all time. And Picard, for me, was always one of those captains that I admired, especially when I was younger. Of course, the Kirk days, Kirk was so suave and had the sex appeal thing going, and he would fight guys, fist to fist. But Picard, in my opinion, always fought most of his challenges with his mind and his ability to debate and understand true situations. And I really liked that about his representation of the Enterprise captain. Now, let's look at this figure because I think this looks very good. Honestly, very, very strong likeness to Patrick Stewart here in the sculpt. I love some of the speckling that we're seeing on the head. I love that he's got the little bit of gray hair kind of popping up on the sculpt here as well. Now, I've got this under a pretty bright white light box, so later in the video, guys, I'm going to turn that brightness down so that you can see what that looks like as well. Now, the tailoring here also looks pretty good. There's a couple spots that I thought maybe were glue residue on the front. There's one like little dot on the front right-hand side of the front chest as well. But again, I'm going to see what that looks like outside of the light box. To me, it doesn't look like a deal breaker by any stretch. I have had a few QC challenges with EXO-6 figures in the past. My Geordie LaForge didn't come with his pips on the collar. I can't see any issues here at all. The body actually feels really stiff. The feet joints feel very, very stiff. He's going to have no problem standing by himself. One thing that I've noticed, though, is that with the hands down at his side, the sleeves are actually a little bit on the short side, which is odd, and his wrist pegs stick out, unlike my Data figure where the sleeves are almost too long. So I don't know if that's just my version, or for those of you guys out there that have this, let me know if that's an issue for you guys as well. To the point where I'm actually going to keep his hands behind his back like this for the majority of his posing days as Picard in my collection because I hate seeing those wrist pegs. It's really freaking ugly. The comm badge does look great though. Again, the paint applications I think here are really, really strong from EXO-6. It's amazing to me that their figure photography for when they sell these figures is just never all that good unless it's 6-scale Mafia. And even then, sometimes he's limited by I think what he's allowed to do, which is challenging because, man, some of these figures when they're in hand really, really, truly come to life, especially if you love the character. Now, it's interesting as well because this isn't actually the only Picard figure we've gotten from EXO-6 so far. We have seen the Picard series figure from Season 3. We've also had a chance to see the Locutus of Borg, which I'll show you with my Picard figure here later in the video as well. Under the different lighting, you can see how lighting really does impact the likeness to a figure. The darker it gets, the more shadow is cast. And of course, it softens some of those challenges that you see in those brighter lights, right? When I've got my really bright lights on, you can almost not see the top of his head. It's so bright, he's so shiny, and his white hair kind of disappears as a result. So this is one of those figures that I think benefits from different lighting, especially in your display, depending on how you pose up your Star Trek figures. Now, I'm looking at getting the captain's chair from the Enterprise D so that I can actually sit him in front of the cast and characters that I intend to get from this series. But because, of course, course, they're representing different versions of Picard here in all of his stages of life, really, when you think about it. You know, Best of Both Worlds is season 3 and season 4, last episode and first episode. Best of Both Worlds, part 1 and 2, some of the greatest episodes of Star Trek of all time. This Captain version here in front of us, I think, is a little bit older than that. And then, of course, the Picard is significantly older. And I think that they've captured Jean-Luc Picard's likeness in all three. But this is definitely my preference in terms of the likeness. I think so far, this one is the most dialed in. Now, when I compare him next to my Locutus, you can definitely tell it's supposed to be the same person under there, which I think looks fantastic. The body scale and sizing is very, very similar. I love that you can see even the salt and pepper hair on the side, or the white gray hair there on both. Them looking at each other, for me, is just ominous. I think that might even be the way that I put it in my display, because I always loved Picard's struggle with the Borg and what his image of existence really was after his encounter with the Borg, and what that did to him, right? It made him almost violent when you think about it in First Contact, if it hadn't been for Lily calming him down after he smashed all his little ships.
It's not about revenge.
Liar!
This is about saving the future of humanity.
Jean-Luc, blow up the damn ship!
No! No!
But so far, I've also been really happy with the Next Generation line overall. I think the Locutus figure looked fantastic. The only ones that I've been really kind of suspect on are that Wesley Crusher.
But shut up, Wesley.
But shut up, Wesley.
I really don't like what I'm seeing with that so far, as well as the Beverly Crusher. I've still got her on order, but I'm on the fence as to whether I should keep her. But at the same time, a bridge crew of TNG is not the same without her standing there, especially in the iconic blue uniform. So I think I will keep it. For now, I think seeing these two side by side looks fantastic. I also really enjoyed seeing the Locutus aboard standing next to Geordi LaForge or Data, kind of recreating that scene after they get Picard back from the Borg. Whereas if you want more of like that iconic bridge display, I think the Picard here that we've got today in the red uniform really symbolizes that. And of course, this is the Essentials version of this figure. There was the standard version of the EXO-6 figure that came with the other Darmok suit leisure jacket that he's got, and the gray shirt there as well as the Picard Day banner and a bunch of other little goodies. I went with this one because, to be honest, I figured I would probably not use the rest of those, and I didn't want to get a swap out body for the second outfit, so I stuck with the Essentials version, and for me, that is good enough to represent Picard in the display. Now lastly, I'll admit, when I saw figure photography of this one, I was not totally sold on the Jean-Luc Picard likeness. I didn't think it was quite dialed in. Having it in hand, I have to admit, I do think that this is closer to an 8.5 or 9 out of 10. When I'm holding it, it really truly feels like Picard. I think if you're waiting for this figure, stay excited, because so far, him up with Geordi and Data here, I think looks fantastic. I can't wait to see what Worf looks like. I can't wait to see what Riker looks like. I'm a little bit worried about the facial hair with Riker, so we'll see. I didn't like the way they did the facial hair on the Krug figure, and so that's a whole other thing, but I'm still excited to see what they look like. And Deanna Troi, of course, they need to nail Deanna Troi, in my opinion, to really fulfill how good this likeness potential has with this particular TNG line. There's been a few others, of course, in there as well, but the main bridge crew is what I'm going to go after, as well as that iconic chair. But I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. What are your thoughts here on the Picard? Do you have this on the way? Are you still one of those folks waiting? Did this keep your excitement, at least, for you getting it in hand? I would love to hear from you guys in the comments. But if you don't mind, hit the like button, smash the subscribe if you're new to the Ben Thomas Show. And guys, I will catch you on the next one. Live long and prosper, everybody.
Wow, what a great audience. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because subscribing makes you feel good.
Where should I go? What should I do?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
It's gone. It's all gone.